Você faz bebê em mim? Faz bebê, por favor. Não, para de graça. Faz bebê em mim.
Hello YouTube, it's your boy, the Passport Bro Wingman, coming at you again with another YouTube video. The title of the video is called Passport Bros, Please Put a Baby in Me, says Bonita. And the way this video came about was, I know that usually I kind of address some of the negative reports that have come out about the Passport Bros that kind of defend the position of the Passport Bro movement. But in this case, I wanted to mix it up a little bit. I wanted to talk about a positive report of some of the Passport Bros that have gone out into the world, into different countries, and have some good news to share with the Passport Bros. As you saw at the beginning of this video, it was kind of a good problem. So there's a Passport Bro that was in Brazil, and he had met a Brazilian woman for about a week. And after only a week, she was head over heels for him. And as you can see in the video, she was nearly begging him to have, to have a baby with her. And I wanted to address this and, kind of talk about, as you go out exploring these different countries, at some point you will run into some women that, going to fall head over heels for you in one of these countries, because a lot of these countries are very family oriented, and a lot of women in these countries are looking to be wifed up and start a family. And versus in the United States, where a lot of women kind of try to put their career before family and always kind of look at, being like the mother of a household is like a oppressive type thing. But these other countries, the women there, they would love to have the role of, being the housewife while you go out and, take care of things. Not to say that you won't find women that want to also work out and get a job too. But the point is that it's pretty much like the reverse. In these other countries, it's family before career. So a lot of women there are definitely looking forward to finding the right mate, settling down, having children. And once you go to a lot of these countries, especially in Southeast Asia, such as like the Philippines or Thailand, you will readily find a lot of women there who really want to settle down and are definitely open to having children with you, even with you traveling back and forth to the country, not even being there. And one of the things to support that is, as you know, unfortunately, in South America, there's a very high single mother rate. Also in, I want to say in some, well, not necessarily in Asia, but nevertheless, in a lot of the countries, it's not, I'm not going to say it's normalized to, put it this way, there's, with the exception of like some parts of Asia, for example, in South Korea, I believe there's a very negative stigma for like single mothers and that kind of thing. But I only bring it up to say that in certain, like South America, for example, even though I agree you should plan before you have a kid, you should most all be married. I think that's the best case scenario. But nevertheless, you will find lots of women there that would like to give you a baby or have a baby with you. And while you go back and forth in the States and visit them there, they have no problem doing that, because it's almost to the point where it's happened so much where, and not between a foreigner and a South American woman, but I mean, there's a lot of the local men there who have, kids with some of the women there. And then unfortunately, for whatever reason, either they broke up or he didn't have the funds. But either way, some men there in these countries tend to abandon the women there. So a lot of times the women, some of them are growing up in single mother homes, and it's almost to the point where, some of them don't really prioritize marriage, and some of them might think that they're not, marriage worthy, and they don't. In some cases, they might not have like a, that's the biggest thing. Like, so, I say that to say all this. When you go to, especially like South America, there are women there who are definitely looking towards, being married and having kids with you, and it's not an oppressive thing. To add to that, Big Truck Reviews, his channel now is called Passport Bros Business Class. He talked about how, like, in the Philippines, they have this thing called shoot and scoop, because the divorce, pretty much there in the Philippines, they have it where you almost can't get divorced So a lot of guys in general there have opted out of marriage entirely. For one, they can't really afford it, and it's like things are very tough there. So what a lot of them do is the thing called shooting and scooting, which I'm sure you can kind of figure out what that means. They pretty much there's a lot of pump and dumping going on, the kind of thing. But nevertheless, there at least a lot of women who are very put it this way. I'm not gonna say it's a highly sought after thing to be married. So when you go there's going to be a lot of women there wanting to tie the knot and to settle down and that kind of thing. Versus, here in the States, we unfortunately treat marriage, I'm not gonna say like a joke, but you got people divorced and left and right. They don't really stay with their vows. But a lot of women there in the Philippines, they really treasure finding a husband and so forth. So you definitely at some point, just like the woman at the beginning of this video, at some point, whether it's in the Philippines, whether it's in Thailand, whether it's in Brazil, whether it's in Colombia, put it this way: if you have not had a woman yet come to you and say that she wants to have your baby, I would say just keep going to each of these countries, and eventually you'll run into a few that we used to call, sometimes you look at these women, sometimes the term for these women is fast. You'll start to run into a lot of fast women that very quickly want to kind of have start a family with you for the most part, put it away. Even to the point where you have some of them saying that they want to give you a child. I've actually had I have a girlfriend now, but when I was dating in Medellin and Bogota when I was there, and they have a term for it called spinning plates, where I dated multiple women at the same time. I've had multiple girls, pretty much state that they wanted to have a baby with me. The way this usually comes about is they usually ask me, do I have any children? I currently don't have any children. So they always ask me like, why do you have any children? And usually they put it out there that they think we would have a pretty baby together. So they would start sending me things like pictures of mixed kids and that kind of thing. But I've had that happen multiple times. And even once when I was in Thailand, I actually had a cab driver, come up to me and try to introduce me to his daughter. He was trying to get his daughter to find a husband and so forth. So what I'm saying is the women are choosing, and they're choosing you, and they're looking for you, and they're definitely looking for passport bros. So I just wanted to touch bases on this. So I just want you guys kind of let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think, are you turn on, turn off when a woman, moves this quickly and she lets you know she wants to have a kid? Are you very hesitant? Are you very suspicious? Oh, by the way, maybe I need to address that as well. Here's the other thing you need to be aware of as well. Be very careful when you're in these countries. Like, there's plenty of women that I've run into that will be intimate with you without using a condom in a very short amount of period, within a very short amount of period of time, without any hesitation. So, one, I don't want you guys catching anything, and then two, I'm always in favor of not bringing into children into this world that you didn't really intend to come into the world. So I would just say, while you're out there, make sure you obviously strap up, and then also the other thing as well, while I do think that most women kind of deal with you in good faith, keep in mind as well that there's always a few women here or there that wouldn't mind trapping a few passport bros and having you send the money and all that kind of stuff. I don't think that happens as much as, put it this way, if you vet well properly, shouldn't happen as much as it does, in the States. Where in the States, I think there was a study that was saying about 1 in 3, I think, husbands was raising something to that effect, like 1 in 4 maybe husbands was raising a child that wasn't theirs or something to that effect. So you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. So so that way, at least I feel like if you strap up, at least there's a high probability. Put it this way, you know when that you kind of know when the child is yours or it's not yours, and also you kind of plan when you are preparing to have the child versus the child, unfortunately, kind of having like a oops baby, you don't want, I would suggest not doing that, but that's just my 2 cents. But either way, you guys be careful out there, protect your seed, go out there and start beautiful families, beautiful families, as like here in the States. by 20, 30, 45% of the women will be single and childless, which means we're not really having kids like we used to in the States. And a lot of this is because of the women's ridiculous standards and they're kind of aging out. And I really feel like we will be the set of men that actually help repopulate the United States and the West by having children by family oriented women and so forth. So go out there, have beautiful families, stick with your wife, support her. And on that note, tell me guys what you think in the comment section. And to all my ghost listeners, please subscribe to my channel. If you have not, hit the thumbs up, hit the notification bell. And until next time, this is your boy, the Passport Bro Wingman, signing off.
Dear Passport Boys, dear Passport Bros, stop calling yourself Passport Boys and Passport Bros. Are you going to the Philippines to look for a Filipina queen or what? So stop calling yourself Passport Boys and Passport Bros. Start calling yourself Passport Kings.